Hemlock High is intended for mature audiences and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode description for content warnings and listen with care.
I can't fight this skin I'm in. I want to be seen and chosen. I keep always running away from my darkest self. Full of glowing up above. Those two bright lights won't stay buried. Memories that I bet out from a distance. I can't wait to graduate. Maybe I won't hide. But in the meantime, show me what's inside.
The school bell rings at Hemlock High, but almost no one notices. So captivated they are by the reveal from walls in the stalls. It is just a flurry of teens accusing other people. You wrote this? Well, how could you possibly say this? I didn't know that you knew this. I only told you. Why did you tell everybody else? All the dirty laundry is coming out, and that is so much more important than attending class. Who does that on our CW TV show?
No one.
Valley, you learned that Faith is the one who wrote that really bitchy comment about you.
I do learn that, but I only hear it secondhand because Valley doesn't have access to it because her parents don't allow her to have social media. So she hears it secondhand, but she's also kind of unimpacted by it because she never wrote anything. So anything that was written would have just been about her.
It's true. Any other blind items people want to open up about?
At some point, it is revealed that Yakubu was the one that said Valley should have been nominated for homecoming court.
That's so sweet.
That is so sweet.
I think Valley hears that, and after having had this interaction with Yakubu a few days prior, I think she doesn't mind it. I think she thinks it's kind of sweet. Like someone sees who she is, who she wants to be, and like acknowledged it.
Many of you are entering into this Friday before the football game, this Friday before your homecoming dance, dealing with a lot of revelations here. Yakubu, the truth of the party last weekend, what happened with Dick, can no longer be ignored. Camden, the truth behind your parents' disappearance and Yakubu's possible, maybe not culpability in it, but his involvement in it. Sable, whatever is going on with you.
She's at high school. It's just high school.
It's honestly true. The burn book is out. I'm turning a bit of my GM fiat over to you. What scenes do we want to set up before we head into the football game?
I know Camden definitely wants to speak with Yakubu.
He's not hard to find. He's like the tallest kid here.
Right. There's definitely a newfound sense of that stare that they normally give to people. Normally it's curiosity, but this time it's direct and intentional.
I definitely believe that you are looking for Yakubu, and I think anytime you have seen him, he is desperately glued to his phone and is like murmuring to himself. And as you can imagine, a gentleman that large being distracted, it isn't safe for everybody. So you might even see him bump into a few classmates here or there. Where would you like to corner Yakubu?
Perhaps one of those classmates you run into is me.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah. Then the stars align, and indeed, yeah, Yakubu just barrels into you and kind of reflexively reaches out and catches you so you don't fall. Yo, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Camden, hey, what's good? And he shoves his phone into his pocket.
Camden accepts the help naturally, but then looks up and with the coldest stare in their eyes says, I need to speak with you privately as soon as possible.
What's this about?
There's only one other person that I've told this to. A big part of the reason why I live here now is because I'm trying to figure out what happened to my parents. And I don't know why or I don't know how, but somehow you are affiliated with it. And I have to get to the bottom of it immediately.
As soon as you finish that, you watch the entire time you were speaking, though, Yakubu's body goes rigid. His breathing gets a little heavy, and he will snatch you by the arm and drag you off into one of the classrooms nearby and slam the door behind him. I don't know what you think you know or anything like that, but I ain't caused nothing with no disappearances.
Call me crazy, but As I was walking here today, I was thinking about my parents and happened to stumble and fall into the forest. And all I can remember before waking up was it was like I was there. I saw two girls and my parents being attacked by them. And for some reason, you were there too. And again, I don't know why, and I don't know how you would even be there, but I don't even know what to say to you. And you're the only person I know. I don't know who those other two girls are. Do you know?
Yakubu, listening to you talk, has clutched onto like his head and is like pacing back and forth as you tell him more and more, and you mention the two women, and he drags his hand over his face and looks at Camden.
And upon that look, I already know that you know who those people are. If you tell me who those two girls are now, then our problems here are done. I would like to spend a string on Yakubu to tempt them to reveal who those two girls are.
All right, Yakubu. So an offer has been extended to you. Camden is pulling on one of their strings. If you do this, you mark experience.
I think for a moment we see on Yakubu's face when Camden mentions that the issues between the two of them will be done with. And the memories of sitting with Valley the other night and her mentioning how she doesn't like when folks seem to have two versions of themselves, and Yakubu looking at Camden, who's essentially like an innocent in all of this. I think the dam finally breaks, and Yakubu, like clutching at his head, a couple of tears fall down, and he like looks up at them and says, "They're two people you don't want to deal with. They're my sisters."
At this point, Camden is rendered speechless a little, trying to rattle through their brain and figure out what to say next. The first thing that comes to mind is, "Thank you for your trust. The last time we spoke, you promised me that you would be faithful and truthful, and you are. So thank you. But I have to deal with this, and I have to deal with this alone. Do not get involved, regardless on who these two girls are to you. Sisters or not, they can't be in this moment."
And he'll hang his head when you say that and lets out a deep exhale before looking up at you, a flash of gold across his eyes. "You can't do this alone, Camden. You gotta trust me. I'll help you however you need." And I kind of want to play off of Camden's condition because I did tell them to trust me and they promised me their trust. So I think I want to spend a string to tempt Camden to do what I want.
Camden's picking at their fingers, trying to figure out what to do, and this is the first time in a long time that they haven't been staring directly at you. And from looking down at the ground, they say, "You realize that they killed them, right?"
Yakubu like kind of clenches his fists. "Yes, they do that. I know they were wrong. And he is trying to find the words to explain the family dynamic to someone who has never lived the way he has under the thumb of a power that is so vast and under two people that claim to have loved him for so long and are essentially controlling him. I don't know why they've been running wild. I know it's something with our blood, and I know what they are doing. What they did is wrong, and I want to make it right. They're gonna be at the game tonight. If we can stop them there, I think it'll make up for all the bad things that I've done."
Death can't be reversed. So whatever needs to happen, you have to remember that can't be reversed either.
Right. Regardless, you trust me, I trust you. All right? And he'll hold his hand up to shake.
Camden accepts the handshake. "I have to go, but thank you. And I don't know what's going to happen tonight. And I also know that it's hard to choose friends over family, but thank you."
We're friends?
Friends.
Sable, the orchestrator of all of this chaos that is happening at Hemlock High. Where are you? What are you doing?
So I would like to point out that there are two people who have not been affected by any of the fallout. Sable, who has very few things posted about them at all, and they're all very benign. And Nagi. Nagi has nothing negative posted about her on the entire page, and that is intentional, and all of the posts have been removed that featured Nagi.
Interesting.
Sable has left a little butterfly Post-it note on Nagi's locker, which was their old school way of indicating to meet up in the yearbook office. So Sable is waiting for Nagi, hoping that she picks up on this old school little telegraph.
Yeah, a couple minutes go by, and then Nagi enters the yearbook office. As she's opening the door, you're hearing the chaos that is happening outside of people like shouting, screaming, crying at each other, teachers and principals trying to like get a handle on things. And then all of that dims down to just like a low murmur once Nagi closes the door to the yearbook office and the two of you are in relative silence.
I need to say something to you, and I need you to just let me say it.
She had opened her mouth to speak and then just closes it and nods with very wide eyes.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You can go first, though, if you need to. I don't
No. You can go.
Okay. Sable's trying very hard not to be controlling of Nagi and realizes the very first thing she do is immediately try to control the conversation, is now very delicately trying to walk it back. The prom thing, I handled that really badly. I think we can both acknowledge I was incredibly cruel about it, and I didn't need to be. And the thing with pushing you out of yearbook and kind of shutting you out of my life, that was me using, a thing that we both had access to, but I had power over, and I was uncomfortable in the situation with the two of us together, and it was really stupid. And we were together. We hadn't hooked up yet, but we were more than friends, and I dressed it up as something else, and you knew it, and I knew it, and I shut you down really publicly, and that was wrong. And she's holding the most eye contact Sable has ever held with a human being, which is very incredibly uncomfortable for her. So she takes a moment, looks away, gathers herself. I'm really sorry. And I'm worried that you're messed up with Yakubu, who I think has something to do with all of these disappearances. Do you remember the photos that you helped me take last year in the woods? I know this is crazy, but I think it's him. We were taking photos of. And you asked him to fuck up my locker, right? Like, that was him?
I didn't ask him to fuck up your locker. No, not exactly. But I was really mad, Sable, and he wanted a key to the yearbook office, which I still had.
I know. You're the only person I would trust with it.
Thank you. And in exchange, he offered to get back at you. I didn't think he would do what he did. I'm sorry. I guess I'm glad that it wasn't worse.
No, you don't have to apologize for anything. You never need to apologize to me for anything ever again.
Don't say that. But I did come on a little strong with the prom thing. But
it was really sweet. I was in a. That would be a lie. Saying I was in a different place last year. I don't. The public stuff is not for me.
I know. I should have read the room a bit. And just asked you, privately. I was swept up, and I thought, that you would appreciate the big romantic gesture, and you didn't. And I thought that meant that you didn't appreciate me.
Nagi, I appreciate you a lot. And then she grabs both of her hands in her hands and says, but just as friends.
Okay.
And as friends, we have to do something about Yakubu, and I need your help. Can you help me like old times?
Absolutely.
And she nods her head towards the yearbook desk, which is where they used to have fun hexing each other the year before.
Yeah. I like the notion that Nagi was a baby witch in your coven.
Yes. If I can have a coven eventually, Nagi and perhaps Priya.
Incredible.
But we'll get there. I need more experience. Sable doesn't know what she's doing.
That would be an absolutely chaotic trio of individuals.
Oh, are you kidding? The dreams. Senior year, just the nerdiest little yearbook kids.
Nagi clears off the yearbook table and pulls out some gel pens and starts doodling some runes and stuff and circles on the table, just like you've shown her.
Absolutely. Sable's gonna pull out, she has the printout of the photo of Yakubu that she has as her sympathetic token. And we will be casting a lovely, lovely hex together.
Don't do it. Don't drag Nagi into this. I don't need more victims.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll with dark.
Yeah.
Please. Storytelling gods, Please, please, please. Okay, 9.
So on a mixed success for your hexcraft, the casting does you 1 harm, the hex has weird side effects, or you trigger your darkest self.
Okay, I'm going to take 1 harm because since I'm still my darkest self, the hex will already have implied weird effects.
That is true. Okay, so how does this harm manifest?
Yeah, I think because what I'm asking this hex to do is so severe, it's definitely like this spell is a requires blood situation. So it's, Sable putting her hand out, Nagi kind of bracing it, and both of them just looking at each other and being like, well, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Can you do it?
No,
I don't
I'm weird about blood, Sable.
Yes, but it's harder to do it to yourself because you know it's coming.
Okay, okay, what if I just, close my eyes? While
Yeah, sure. And then she stabs her hand way too hard.
Yeah.
And her other hand, of course. 2 pretty useless hands for photographing stuff, which she's going to have to do later this evening. So we'll see how that goes.
What is the hex that you've chosen?
Ring of Lies.
Please read it.
Whenever the person attempts to lie, they hear a piercing ringing noise. Big lies will often make their knees buckle and disorient them. Severe lies can cause harm or even brain damage. And this has weird side effects because I'm still my darkest self. And it's more powerful. So, sorry, Akubu.
What should the side effect be?
I'm wondering if it starts triggering transformations that...
Oh.
Yeah, because technically...
That's a lie.
Exactly, yep. Withholding my true self.
I like that. That's so good.
That's gnarly, and I love it.
So definitely after finishing casting this is one of those ones that doesn't hit as hard as Wither, where you kind of know when it takes effect. So Sable just goes over to the first aid kit that's attached to the wall by the fire extinguisher, grabs a Band-Aid, hands it to Nagi, and is like, hey, can you...
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're kind of down both hands there. And she starts bandaging up your hand.
Since I'm a little useless, and she holds up her wrist that's broken and then her now bandaged hand, I'm going to need an assistant for tonight if you're free.
Yeah, of course I am. I'd be so happy to help. Honestly, I've really missed your book.
Your book? And I have missed you.
And she hugs you and then pulls away. I'm sorry. Is that too much?
Sable hugs her back, just like full, warm friend hug.
Sable, you can escape your darkest self when you offer peace to the one you have hurt the most. You've hurt a lot of people, but I think Nagi is a good candidate for this, considering the backstory that we built up between the two of you.
The depth of hurt is... Yeah.
What a read. You've hurt a lot of people. What a read by Kim.
I mean,
beautiful.
It's not a read if it's true.
If it's so true.
So I will allow you to escape your darkest self.
Huzzah! I accept.
Welcome back.
Still a bitch, though. Have not cleared that condition.
Nagi lets her arms drop from the hug and smiles at you. This is like the first smile that you've seen from her basically all school year. She's been so morose about not only losing you and losing this club that she really enjoyed and just feeling so much shame about it. I'll see you later at the game.
Yeah, are you going to go home first to change? Because I could pick you up.
That'd be great.
Great.
And she kind of skips out of the yearbook office.
As the door opens and Nagi leaves, Valley kind of pokes her head around the door jamb, looking in at Sable. Hey, Sable, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, I was expecting this. Do you want to talk in here?
Yeah, that's fine. And Valley comes in and she's holding a box in her hand that has that kind of decoupage. She's taken some time to take an old shoebox and make it look kind of fun and something that is very specific for you. But since she's never allowed a great amount of money, all she really has is time and crafts. So she shuts the door and walks over and sets the box down, probably over this gel pen summoning circle that's on the desk, just sets it down.
Just swipe it away.
Yeah, and just sets it down for a second. And she is contrite. She feels so much shame and guilt about looking in on what turned out to be an incredibly tender and sweet but private moment. Look, Sable, I I know you don't trust me, and I would completely understand it if you never wanted to talk to me again, but I screwed up, and I know that I did, and I broke your trust, and I really want you to know how sorry I am about that, and I appreciate everything that you helped me with over the summer, and I just want you to know that, like, that will never happen again, like, ever, and I'm just really sorry, and I made this for you. And she passes Sable the box.
Sable runs her hand along the top of the box. It's very cute.
I tried. I really tried to think about you while I was making it. So
Sable opens the lid of the box and peers inside.
And inside, Sable would find a couple of different locally picked herbs and flowers from the forest that is near the town. There would specifically be some Douglas fir needles for clarity and fresh starts. There would be some cedar for cleansing and warding off negative energy. There's some wild chamomile that would be calming, considering that Valley saw you at a really dark, heavy moment. There's some kelp for emotional healing. And then last but not least, as kind of a nod to what Valley witnessed, there's some red clover for love and luck.
Sable really quickly sets the box down, gives Valley a huge hug and says, "You read the books I gave you?" Valley,
kind of very stiffly, because she's not super affectionate, is I don't know how to react to the hug, but gently kind of taps Sable on the back. Yeah, I have to keep them hidden from my parents, but I try to read them when I can. But I thought this would be helpful for, whatever you might be working on spell-wise.
Thank you. And Sable walks across the room and pulls back a couple of posters that are leaning, trifold posters that are leaning up against the wall, slides them to the side, and you can see there's a little shelf of occult books there, and looks to Valley and says, "Insider tip. These are here if you ever need to borrow from our little witchy lending library. Nagi knows. Don't worry, she's cool. But you're more than welcome to borrow anytime you want."
Valley is kind of taken aback at the hour, this is our thing. And so she kind of smiles a little to herself at being included in it, even though her exploration of the occult is mostly out of necessity at this point, as she's trying to figure out how she can move on. But she just smiles and kind of shrugs her shoulders and doesn't really know what to do.
Sable takes a moment and very uncomfortably brings up the continual elephant in the room. It's okay about the being in the treehouse when everything happened. It'd be a lot easier to acknowledge that it didn't, but it did. And I need you to know that being intimate with people is really difficult for me. Do you remember last year when I took a week off of school?
Yeah.
I said that I was at Disneyland. I had taken some photos of Dick, and he had Tomas come to make good on the photos that I took of him to get them back. And I had thought Tomas and I were going on a date, and it was not a date. It was the only other time I've tried being intimate or tender with another person, and it felt really nice, and then I was really scared seeing you afterwards, and I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm really, really, really sorry. You mean a lot to me, and our friendship means a lot to me, and you're one of the last people I would ever want to hurt. And I couldn't help myself.
Valley, she's wearing that long-sleeved, Under Armour shirt under her cheerleading uniform, because obviously, the game is tonight, so she's in her full cheerleader drip. But she kind of rubs her arm where those horrible bruises, but then also those crosses are, still burning in her skin. Look, I get it. I understand. Sometimes people can't control themselves when they're upset. And I understand. And, you had every right to be really, really mad at me for that. And I understand why. And trust me, I get it. It's really, really hard for me to be anything remotely close to intimate with anyone. So I understand the pain that you feel in those situations. And I'm sorry that you do feel that way.
Sable goes to grab Valley's hand slowly because she knows Valley has very strict.
Very flinchy.
Yeah, and is reaching out with her wrist that is currently in its little brace and grabs her hand, touches the top of her hand, and says, I know I'm probably the last person who should be complaining to you about dealing with this kind of stuff, but I knew you would understand.
Sometimes, no matter how bad the stuff is that we're going through, it is nice to have someone go through it with you. And Valley puts her hand over Sable's broken wrist. And I think in this moment, I'd like to use my move Transference.
Could you read it?
Whenever you spend time truly listening to someone else's struggles, they heal one harm and then transfer their remaining harm to you.
All right. So, Sable, you can clear all of your harm. And Valley, take one harm. What does this look like?
Valley, with her hand over this broken wrist, you see her hand kind of shimmer and briefly go more transparent, translucent, and her hand sinks into Sable's and starts to kind of move under the skin as if it's just one hand. And when she pulls her hand back out, she is now wearing the wrist brace, and Sable's wrist is healed.
Sable definitely has like a, whoa, that felt.
I think Valley is also having like the same reaction. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was going to do that.
Is that that's not a witch thing?
I think that's me.
That's a you?
I think that's a me thing. That's wild. That's so weird.
Very cool.
Does it feel better?
Yeah.
And Valley's kind of still wiggling this wrist despite the brace because ghosts can't really, like, even if the bone is broken, I don't think it really hurts. This is so weird.
Yeah, I feel fantastic. Like, she looks at her other hand that was cut and there's no more wound there, not even a scar.
Valley looks at her other hand and now sees that slash mark in her palm.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't really feel anything, but like I can definitely tell that something happened.
Whoa.
And I think it's just this kind of like nervous
Yeah.
giggling of like, okay, well, we just learned something new. What we do with it, who knows?
Sable's still smiling, just very pink-cheeked. You know, the brace is probably a good place to get sympathy votes if you're still in the running for homecoming court.
Well, yeah, I mean, seeing what you've done in the hallways here, someone told me that it was Yakubu who put my name in, so I guess I just run with that for a little bit. If we're kind of going back to the plan of just like make yourself untouchable.
Yeah, maybe run with the suggestion and not the person. And Sable kind of raises her eyebrows, gives a nervous smile, and walks out the door.
Oh, all right. And Valley's just kind of like left with that information, coupled with also finding out via the madness in the hallways that Yakubu is responsible for putting her name in the hat, but also now has this conflict of loyalty based on what Sable has just hinted at, but follows her out of the room and goes back into the mayhem.
If I may, Valley, before you leave, your gaze is once again brought over to the hastily cleaned up summoning circle where you had given Sable her gift. And you see several photographs of what you are now realizing is a semi-transformed Yakubu.
Valley picks these photos up, looking at them, and is definitely in shock at what she sees, but she also feels something akin to anger boiling up in her because they had this really sweet moment a few nights ago, but now she's discovering kind of like everything else in her life right now. People are not what they seem. And she puts the lid on the box, puts it in the little alcove in the wall behind the posters and covers it up so no one finds it. And then almost without her even knowing she's doing it, she starts to just shred these pictures into 1,000 pieces, dropping them on the floor.
All right, we're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. The sun sets, the full moon rises. We are at the football field. These stands are packed with both students and alumni, all to witness this homecoming game against the Triton's rival team, the Brownsville Bears. I think I just kind of want to montage the football game a little bit. I'd like to swing the spotlight around to each of you to cover what all you are doing during the game, and then we will pick up with you all at the end because, spoiler alert, of course you're going to win. This is that kind of TV show. Let's start with Yakubu first. That seems the most appropriate.
Basked in the moonlight, anyone that is paying attention to Yakubu sees that he is poised yet jittery. He is locked in like he's never been locked in before. There's that pride that he takes in his athletics, in what the Tritons have become, and it is exceedingly obvious on the field as Yakubu dominates anyone and everything in his path like a wild animal set upon its prey.
Sable, Nagi, Priya, and Bee are all hanging out together behind the Bears bench, which is unusual. Usually they're sitting behind the home team's player bench, but Sable has, for some reason, insisted that they sit a little further away today. She's assigned everyone different things to be focusing on. Sable herself is focusing on Yakubu for shots.
Camden is a whirlwind of emotions right now. They are anxiously tapping their knees and looking around with a very intense, searching eye and trying to find the two girls that they saw in their vision. They have no interest in this football game whatsoever, but the one thing they do is take out their phone and send a quick text over to Sable. Hey, I'm not sure where you are shooting from, but I hope you have a great time. Hope the pictures turn out great. Heart.
Sable gets it, immediately starts looking around the stands, catches, sees where Camden is, and just does a big, hi!
And they wave back, but they have a smile, but not a grin ear to ear, but just a nice wide smile with recognition of love, ? But I think they're a little too locked into the main task of the evening to focus on that.
Not the L word.
Ooh, this early?
Not this early.
That's why I said ?
And Valley.
Valley has found her way into the stands because Faith kicked her off the team and is holding to that. I'd like to point out the cheerleading squad is not doing particularly well without their main flyer and tumbler. They are doing way less tricks than they normally do. And Valley finds herself a little bit pleased about that, as she should, but she's actually sitting in the stands with Camden. She decided to make sure that Camden wasn't left by themselves during the game since Jackson is on the team and playing. So she's sitting in the stands, focused on the game, watching Yakubu pretty intensely, but also kind of smirking over what Faith has chosen to do, which is wear this beret with just like strands of a ponytail left over. And she's enjoying the meanness of something that she's not really accustomed to, but that she feels is very deserved.
Definitely has like affixed extensions to the inside of the beret.
100%. That's absolutely what she did. And it's fooling no one. And Valley definitely takes a bit of, I would say, earned joy in the downfall of someone that she finds to be incredibly awful and hypocritical.
I believe that as the game finally dies down, the victory firmly in the Triton's grasp, Yakubu scans over the audience, and as he takes in the crowd, you do see there is a moment of fear as front row we see these two large, dark-skinned women who are holding a sign over their head that says, "Go, Yakubu, go." They are as amped up and into the action as Yakubu is, and he hesitantly breaks eye contact with them and then does a double take as he looks up into the stands again, and he sees Camden and then he sees Valley. He offers an excited wave to her.
Valley hesitates, but then raises the bandaged hand and just gives you like a very quick wave, but without a smile on her face, unfortunately.
And with those mounting emotions as we get into the last quarter, Yakubu's eyes change as we see the tiny flash of gold go bright. When the linemen clash, Yakubu decimates 3 different men, setting them flying, opening up for the opportunity to close this game out with a victory.
Yakubu, you are very quickly overwhelmed by hugs and shouts and celebrations from your teammates. The Brownsville Bears were just decimated in this game, due in large part to your just very dominant game here. And very quickly, your sisters come upon you. They're so tall and just command so much presence and so much dominance that, like, the crowd almost parts for the two of them as they make their way towards you, fling their arms about you, pull you into a huge hug, kiss your cheek. Their eyes are bright gold, and they're giggling a bit as they are pulling you into this embrace. Abiola, your oldest sister, does lean close to your ear and say, "Who is the one who took the pictures?"
Yakubu tenses under their grip and from the words, and he goes to speak. No clue, I'm working on it. And then a wave of ringing, body-shaking pain hits him as he clutches on to the side of his head. And as he clutches it, he feels the skin on his hand begin to wriggle and writhe. And looking down, he quickly clamps it under his armpit. I said I'm working on it. Just give me some time. Give me some space. All right? And his voice raises way louder than he anticipates. And everyone hears him reprimand his sisters as he gazes around for a second and then attempts to scramble off.
I have a move for this. Yakubu, roll run away. I'll go ahead and read it. When you run away, roll with volatile. On a 10+, you get away to a safe place. On a 7 to 9, you get away, but choose one. You run into something worse, you cause a big scene, or you leave something behind.
Well, the good news is that Yakubu is volatile as hell because I rolled a 9 + 2. That's an 11. This boy is scurrying.
All right, where is it that you squirrel away to? Where is it that you hyena away to?
I think he heads back to the school. I think he knows that is the place that is the most abandoned right now. He can't go back to the locker room. He can't go back to the parking lot. He's trying to keep as many people away from danger as possible.
The move works, so the sisters will not pursue you. They do, however, focus their eerily gold gaze upon the quartet of yearbook photographers that are near the Brownsville Bears stand.
Camden immediately clocks this because as the game comes to an end, they see the two girls in the front row and finally recognizes who they are. And Camden's eyes go dark. And Camden turns to Valley and says, "I'm so sorry, but I have to go. Keep an eye on Sable, will you?"
Yeah, but where are you going?
And Camden doesn't answer. They're high up in the bleachers, so they start to head down what feels like quickly, but in the shot is vilely slow. And they pull out their phone and text Sable and just say, "I love you. I'm sorry." Camden goes down to approach these two and looks at them, the bravest they've ever been, and says, "You may not know me, but you will."
Hemlock High is a Kitten Marlowe production, edited and produced by Kim Dalton. This episode featured a theme song written and performed by Jason Myers, with additional lyrics by Kim Dalton. You can find out more about us by visiting kitchenmarlowe.com, signing up for our newsletter, or following us on socials. For Discord access, exclusive cast talkbacks, TTRPG materials, and more, visit patreon.com/kittenmarlowe and join the coolest kids in school, our Kitten Marlowe patrons, in supporting artist-driven storytelling. Thanks for listening. Psst. Do you have a blind item for the wall? Head to wallsofthestalls.com. Password, between classes. One word, no spaces. Have fun.